Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that OG of full-size luxury SUVs, and it has an all-new redesigned look. This vehicle right here, it's a 2025 Lincoln Navigator. This one is a reserve trim with the Jet package. But before we get into this full-on, full redesign of a luxury SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So you heard correctly. In the grand scheme of things within the auto industry, the Lincoln Navigator is the vehicle to bring that full-size luxury SUV. Eventually, GM would join in with the Escalade. And if you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, what about midsize? Believe it or not, Lexus was the one to do that with the RX. Now, what's fascinating is for 2025, the Cadillac Escalade gets a refresh, the Navigator gets a redesign. But what I want to find out is if you have the means and the desire to get a Navigator, is this now the time, especially this reserve trim? Is it the must-own for the money over an Escalade? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, beautiful color. It's called Gray Mist Metallic. It's an optional color and it looks fantastic, especially with the Jet appearance package that really gives you all those black accents instead of the fuddy-duddy chrome stuff that normally you find on Lincolns. Now, the front of the business, reshaped headlight housing, all LED, some shiny inside, some gloss black, LED turn signals, LED daytime running lamps, and LED headlights, of course. I like the way on the side here how they did this horizontal stack of lighting. This design plays into some of the design you'll see on the side of the vehicle in a few seconds. Now, as we work our way down, my big zonk is there's a lot of gloss black and it's not doing anything. This is not a vent, there's no fog lamps, nothing. It's just a big, huge horizontal bar gloss black. Not my favorite, but I do love the color. And the way that they reshaped the front end makes it look not so heavy when you're staring at it coming down the road. Now, as we come across that iconic badge, American Luxury, the Lincoln badge, does have your LED lighting that comes all the way across, gloss black on all the little accents with that unique shape to the Lincoln grille. And then working our way down, you do get functionality in the center because this does have a twin turbocharged intercooled power plant, that EcoBoost power plant. But let me know what you think about the face of the new Lincoln Navigator. It does have a forward-facing camera even on the reserve trim. Remember, you have reserve, there's the black label, all those goodies. But let me know what you think. Now, as we rise up, nice little slight bend to the hood. You do get a semi-bulge, semi-luxury bulge there with that metal flake in our Gray Mist Metallic. Coming around the bend, going with the Jet package, gets you these ready-to-fly wheels. Love the multi-spoke, that spinning twist design. You could see the accents with the way they did the lines. That actually starts with the lighting here on the corner. Brought into the wheels. This is a 22-inch wheel on the reserve trim. Yes, they even have 24-inch wheels depending on what trim you're getting. Tires are 275 on the width, 50 series sidewall, and this is a 4x4. So you are getting power to all four wheels if you need it. No flat black, no gloss black, just everything nicely painted on the side. And of course, you're gonna get that adaptive suspension. Now, coming down the side, power folding mirrors, gloss black with some silver trim, your LED lighting, your 360-degree cameras. Like the way they put the Navigator name badge on the side. And then this particular one is a non-max. So you could get a Navigator Max, which is even longer. That would compete with like a suburban size vehicle. This one is your standard size, and I'm fine with that. This is plenty big. You do have your electric dropping running boards with a little gloss black along the edge, close to the body roof rails. And then you'll also see that you have your built-in keypad. So what's great about this is that if you're going somewhere and you don't want to bring your key fob with you, you could actually set up a code to lock the doors and you don't have to have the key fob on you. Door handles have a little bit of gloss because of that jet package with the gray mist metallic. Coming down the side, when we get to the quarter glass, here's where we see that horizontal setup of the lines, just like in the lights, just like on the wheels. Nice good sized quarter glass. I like the way the trim only comes on the bottom, not bottom and top. And then spinning around back, they got it good. They really did get it good. You got a nice roof spoiler. The wiper is tucked in and hidden, color match spoiler. And then you'll notice the new design. It's almost like Lincoln under glass, because not only do you have that same style lighting for the taillights, all LED of course, look at the way they have the Lincoln badge sort of design silhouette in there with the Lincoln name that illuminates, and it's under the actual housing itself. Nice touch. Like I said, it's Lincoln under glass. It's like going to a jewelry store and seeing all the sparkles underneath the glass in the showroom of the jewelry store. Working our way down to ground level, clean, simple, gloss black. I would have preferred some exposed exhaust. I think exhaust like you'd find on an Escalade would have been nice. This does have the trailering package, which means we get to tow more, and you have your hookup receiver right underneath this area in the center of the bumper. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see if there's any changes to the power plant with this new Navigator. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have the hood struts. Underneath the hood is not a V8. There's no V8 available. It is that tried and true EcoBoost power plant. It's a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. It is bolted to a 10-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. Top speed is 115 miles an hour. MPGs 15 in the city, 22 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 6,000 pounds. Now with the trailering package, you could tow over 8,700 pounds worth of weight with this vehicle. The trailering package is something new for model year 2025. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see this Lincoln Navigator roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Lincoln Navigator, this being a reserve trim with the Jet package. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I have always envisioned my family being chauffeured around in a Lincoln Navigator. It seems to be that SUV that saved Lincoln. How much is it? Very good question, and you're right. The Navigator did save Lincoln from going under because their sedans were not selling for anything. But if you're wondering, if you're ready to step up to the plate, this reserve trim, the way it's spec'd, has an MSRP of $108,000. Quite a bit of money. But let's see what Lincoln is bringing for 2025 to the door panels. Love the leather and soft touch material. Contrast stitching. We have the Revell premium sound system, a little bit of silver trim, and then a door pocket large enough easily for a pick two from Panera, and two large raspberry lemonade smoothies. Now going from the door panel to the dash, the soft touch, you even got leather on the oh crap handle for the passenger, and then we have our new 48 inches of uninterrupted screen. At first, it's a little bit much to handle, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. Now, first of all, it's not a touch screen. You can touch it, it doesn't do anything. The way you operate this screen is actually down here. So you push this icon on the smaller infotainment screen, and now what I'm able to do is, like if I want my trip odometer, I can click and replace the clock. Watch this. Boop. There it is. If I want my tire pressure, I could bring my tire pressure. Let's say I want my weather over on the corner and I want my clock a little closer. You're also gonna find that when you turn on your turn signals, it'll show blind spot cameras, but I'll show you that when you come to the business side of things. We have our massive premium sound system center speaker. And then down below, everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything is gonna be controlled in this lower infotainment system screen, including your control of your AC vents. So if you wanna do AC, you have to go in, and this is where you move your vents. Not my favorite. I am gonna zonk that there's no physical buttons. 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and a heated steering wheel. All the different apps that are in this. And this is a 13-inch screen that you could scroll through. They really want to make this a rejuvenating experience. And here's where you could go into your rejuvenating experience. Look up top. Look at the screen. It's all a nice waterfall. And you could do 5 minutes, you could do 10 minutes, you could do 10 days and just sit in your car forever and ever. And I like the way you could change the themes. A little bit of water drippage. That would make me want to go pee. I'm gonna have to get a clothespin to pinch it. But look at that. Love the Aurora Borealis lighting. Really creates a special experience. I like the waterfall. That reminds me of when I jumped down Niagara Falls. But coming back to the screen here, like I said, everything is built in. So you are gonna have to get your fingerprints all over this thing. That to me is a zonk. We do have our cameras. Down here is where you select them. Where you see them is up top. So that's where I'm gonna go through my different camera angles here. Panoramic, out the back, flip it around, rub it down, slide it in, there you go. And then we got some old school R&B and reggae. That's Steven's favorite channel. I don't know why that came up, but let's change that right away. So, let's put the trip odometer there. There we go. That makes me feel better. Now you do have your Pro Trailer Assist. Love this nice sort of like wood style trim. You got the piano keys. I could play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary had a little lamb. No, this is for your 10-speed automatic. There's your start stop button for the EcoBoost twin turbo V6. Down below, you got enough room for your Louis Vuitton purse, your Calvin Klein backpack. Maybe you got a Tommy Hilfiger hat from 1998. Love the real volume knob here. It's like the dark crystal. You got your different modes. You hit that. I'll show you that when you come to the business side of things. It's probably better. Oh, actually I could show it here too. So here are your different modes. You actually have normal to high, but you could also do 4x4 normal. Excite, that's like sport mode. Look at all these modes. Deep conditions, whatever that. When the crap is getting deep, like somebody is just telling you so much crap, that's when you put your boots on and hit deep conditions, and then you even have a snow climb. So nice to have all those different modes. Love this wood style trim. Open up door number 1. We got 2 cup holders, and there's your Lincoln key fob. Remote start. Open up door number 2. Wireless charging, USB-C, USB-A, and you could stand up 4 Twinkies. The leather, open her up. Look at this. This is where you can go and, first of all, you got 2 USB-Cs, which there's 14 USB-Cs in there. There's a 12 volt. You can get yourself those Fabergé eggs you want, and you could keep them in here and they won't crack. So you won't have like a Fabergé scrambled egg sandwich because it's nice and felt lined. And then the seats. The leather, of course, massage, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, and I almost forgot, inside here, you do have your rejuvenation pods, so you can put different scents in here. It's one of those things like, say the kids have been driving you nuts, and you gotta go pick them up over their friend's house. Before you even leave your house, get that rejuvenation started. It'll make your life that much better. Up top, got a panoramic sunroof with that power shade, and I got speakers everywhere. There's over 25 speakers in this thing. Why don't you come over here to the egg-shaped steering wheel in this all-new Navigator. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Of course, you got all your memory seat settings. You got your seat controls with that massage. You just hit the center. Love the aluminum sill plate with a little ambient lighting. Even have adjustable pedals. Now, sitting here, these seats cradle you like luxury. If you want to know what lifestyles of the rich and famous are, sit in the seat. Steering wheel, all new shape. Very minimalistic, but I love the leather, the stitching. This does have Blue Cruise, which is Ford's semi-autonomous hands-free driving. And then, of course, you have your continued experience with the 48 inches. Watch when I turn on the turn signal. You get that little tiny blind spot camera. I wish it was a little bit larger. I know you've been told that by probably certain people in your lives, but that blind spot camera is way too small. I'm gonna go into the different modes and see how that goes when it comes to operations. So when it comes to your drive modes, I hit Excite. Shows you how your 4x4 goes into action, and that's all you get. There's really not a lot to it, and of course you got your navigation, but nice to have the massage seats and all the other controls. The one thing that does just hurt my head is everything is controlled through that screen. And to do the steering wheel, watch this. This is really confusing. So you actually hit here, because this is a touch panel. Hit here. Actually, that's for the stereo. First, you got to go there. Now I'm going to go here. Now I'm going to go up. That's a little too high. Now I'm going to go out. So everything, including your side mirrors, is with the wheel. That I don't like. It's too much. It's too much. Too many distractions. Let's get, though, into the mid-row and the third row and see if this Navigator really steps up to the plate for 2025. All right, guys, mid-row time in this 3-row SUV. You do have full power assist. Steven's going to show you the controls for the mid-row, and these seats are just as comfortable and just as fantastic as the seats up front. We have our AC vents up top, USB-Cs, 2 of them per rear seat passenger. Nice large pocket. You could put your issue of Forbes magazine there. Here's something that's worth its weight in gold. I love the fact that I can adjust the shade from the back seat. There's so many times I get picked up by an Uber that I have to ask them to open and close the shade. Now I could do it myself, as it should be. Back down here, you do have your home power source and 2 cup holders. You do have your power seats, which are nice. You can recline them. Really nice setup. Love that wood style finish. Open it up. Look at this. You got a Twinkie holder, 2 cup holders, and then we do have a touch screen here for our seat controls. You do have massage seats and that chauffeur seating for the front passenger seat. They're heated and ventilated. Thank you, Lincoln. That's how you do luxury. You could adjust your climate controls. Nicely done right there. And you can come back and do even air quality. Right now we're at a 6. As long as Steven stops farting today, we should stay in the green. If he doesn't, it's all over. Love the leather. Open it up. All this felt lining. You could put in here, I would say 6 cans of Pringles. I freaking love Pringles. And then even down below, we're not done. That's where you could put a freaking football. Love that. Say you're going to the big game and you want to get that special autograph, get your balls ready. Also have your pen ready. That's another thing. And then, like I said, the seats, nice leather. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into that third row, because I want to go for a spin in this Navigator. All right, guys, third row time. Now, what's nice is that you have these easy access buttons to move the seat forward, and it really does open up nicely that even a big bodied person like myself can get to the third row and slide on in. This is what it's all about. Knees nice and low. I'm not near the headliner. I have AC vents, plus, you ready for this? Little recline action, which is nice. Seat material is good. Not as nice as the mid-row, but still not like you're sitting on a plank of wood. The only stupid thing is that both USB-Cs are over there. I don't have, oh, I'm an idiot. 2 USB-Cs on both sides. I guess that makes sense, because if you do the math, I counted 10 so far. I should have known, because there's 14 USB-Cs in this thing. So they're really spoiling your third seat passengers more so than an Escalade. Feels pretty good back here. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in that cargo area, because I want to show you what's cooking back there in this Navigator. All right, guys, cargo area time. New for 2025, we got the split gate. It's not like Watergate. What it does is it allows you to have that dual opening rear door system. So nice to have this because you could put your watermelons, your cantaloupes back here, and they're not going to fall out. Now, if you want to open this, of course, it's power assist. That loading dock drops down. Now, on the passenger side, we do have a 12-volt, and you do have a home power source and 2 USB-Cs. They really want to make this be a tailgater's dream. You even have a picnic table that you could set up by taking all the panels out here and have your picnic table as you're tailgating. And then on the driver's side, you'll notice you have your exterior lighting you can turn on, and these are the switch gear to operate the seats. So we're gonna go ahead and hit that guy. Hit that guy. That gives us our 60-40 split. You have your nook here for your box of Twinkies, of course, if you're gonna tailgate. How much room are we looking at though? So with that third row up, you're looking at, believe it or not, 22 cubic feet of space. Now you're looking at 61 cubic feet of space. And then of course, if you're able to fold down the mid row, that's 107 cubic feet of space. Now, you'll see in the back the USB-Cs that were in the hot dog holder back here, and you do have that switch gear to tilt the rear seats. But nice to have all this room, because for over $100,000, if you need to, you could just sell your house and live out of the back of this thing, especially with 14 USB-Cs. That's crazy. I don't even have enough things to plug into 14 USB-Cs. I guess I need to go consume and buy more, because that's what life is about, right? Consuming. But why don't we go ahead, let's consume some on throttle and go for a spin in the Navigator. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel of this Lincoln Navigator. I want to do a quick on throttle. We're gonna check to see what mode we're in. So we'll bring that up, go to drive modes, and go to Excite. Very responsive, very engaging. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. So definitely has plenty of pep with that EcoBoost V6 pumping out 440 horsepower. Now with the handling, everything is going to be adjusted. Steering, braking, throttle sensitivity, depending on what mode you're in. You'll notice the blind spot cameras, they're great. I just want them to be larger. I need that visual reference space to be a little bit larger. But let's go pull out into traffic here and see how things go. It's one of those vehicles that with the technology, it definitely makes it easier to drive. Having the 48 inches of screen in front of you is that head-up display. That's how you gotta look at it. If you look at it from that standpoint, you won't be dumbfounded with what the screen is giving you information-wise. If you look at it as anything else, it's just gonna annoy you. But the good news is it's not in your line of sight. And if you need to change anything, whoa, what the, it's unbelievable what these people. Welcome to Florida, guys. Welcome to Florida. Got to be on your toes at any given moment. But being behind the wheel, very comfortable. And if you want to, like I said, if you want to change any of that information on the screens in front of you, it's actually quite easy. So I could go to media, I could bring it up here. Now I changed it. That 10-speed automatic shifts very, very nicely. And after this stressful drive, I'm definitely going to need to rejuvenate, which thankfully with this vehicle, you have that capability. But visibility with your large mirrors, the way that the A-pillars are pulled far apart out the front windshield allows you to have a good view. You're nice and high. That adaptive suspension feels good. And these seats are superb. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the massage. Go into recovery mode here. I definitely need to recover after today's day. But getting to that infotainment system screen is well within reach. It's just the sad thing is everything is within the screen, and it is very distracting at times. So that is good if you're able to activate Blue Cruise. If you're not, then the challenge is you're going to be taking your eyes off of the road quite a bit once you get the hang of it. I guess once you get the hang of it, it's not such a big deal, but until that happens, it's cumbersome. But like I said, the way everything is laid out in here feels fantastic. The massage has a natural sensation to it. Like I said, here in Florida, you never know what is gonna pull out in front of you. Never. I even had a guy once in a lawnmower heading in my direction in oncoming traffic on a riding lawnmower. I think the thing you're gonna love about this Navigator is really how it performs. I mean, the handling is very well done for an SUV this size. And even though it lacks a V8, on throttle, you're getting plenty of power when it comes to that straight line acceleration. Of course, with the 4x4, the power being sent to the ground very effectively. And really just the level of luxury, the bar has been raised within this Navigator. All the other pieces of technology that are real new, you eventually get used to it. Like, I'm able now to adjust my steering wheel very, very easily, whereas when I first started, it took time. Here I am raising and lowering it. It's just one of those things that it just takes some time for you to get used to these things. But let's go on throttle again. On throttle! Definitely have power to get out and go, that's for sure. And then, like I said, going into your infotainment system screen, making your adjustments for whatever you want displayed. Really nice to have that ease of doing that once you figure out how it's done. But really, the suspension in this thing just feels so comfortable, but yet so planted. So they did a really good job there with the balancing of the comfort piece, but also it feeling secure to the road, that you could handle and make your movements and everything is gonna feel really good beneath you. But really where the Navigator shines, believe it or not, is out on the highway because of just how comfortable of a vehicle that it is, especially for all three rows. It's very, very, very comfortable. But what's nice is with the Blue Cruise, once you set the speed, it does a really good job of maintaining that distance from the car in front of you. And really, it's not like a herky-jerky movement, like gas, brake, gas, brake. It's fairly smooth for what it is, which is nice. And then I could just add speed by pressing the top of the left button on the steering wheel. But this is all hands-free driving. Obviously, you need to keep your attention forward, but other than that, you're good to go. And of course, they keep adding roads and extra miles of highway to the system. Really just ties in the whole technology piece. I want to change lanes. It's changing lanes for me. It's really a straightforward system. And then if you want to shut it off, you just shut it off. That's it. Take control and you're good to go. So I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of what this new Navigator is bringing for 2025. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways with this Lincoln Navigator. We definitely got to thank everybody at Lincoln for allowing us to have access to this press fleet vehicle. What do you think? Is this the must-own full-size luxury SUV? Is it luxury SUV of the year? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Got to give it to Stephen Flood. He's actually wearing a tux. He wanted me to wear a tux. I said, hell no, it's too hot out here. Until they come out with a dry fit tux, that's when I'll wear one. But he's got his tux on. He actually wore that tux when he went to his high school prom. So it's a little tight, but it still works. Thank you, Stephen. You're looking good and sweating away. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.